Now, oh, I was about to go for the other broken microphone here. All right, hello. We're here now to discuss a 250 foot in width. I don't know if that's diameter as well. A giant hole that has appeared in Russia near the what province was that, Joe?
Oh God, you're gonna ask me to pronounce it? Uh,
Uh, well, it's a big hole in the ground, and it looks like an alien spaceship landed there. Okay, so we're trying to find out what this thing actually is.
it's in the
And,
Yamal Peninsula in northern Siberia.
right, northern Siberia, somewhere on whatever peninsula he just said, correct?
Right.
And about this thing, it doesn't seem to have made headline news unless you actually search for it, but it's all over the news. And if you type in Russia hole, it will come up. It's a 300. Now they're saying, wait. Now there's the Chicago Tribune is saying it's 100 meters wide. Oh, I'm sorry. MSNBC is saying it's 100 meters wide. Chicago Tribune says it's 328 feet wide.
I saw 80 meters from MSNBC. I thought the 260-foot crater. There we go.
Now I'm seeing 328 feet from the Chicago Tribune. 80 meters from RT. UFO landing site. Meteors have been ruled out. Scientists are stumped.
It says Russian geologists are on their way.
Yeah, they're there to cover it up. Listen.
Bring a shovel.
Yeah, right. This is not a normal chat for a forum. This is our two administrators of the forums here talking about aliens, so this is not a normal forum chat. We tried to get someone on who, I don't know, he thinks that we've destroyed all of his family's computers or something, and he refuses to get on. But I've known him for years, and so has Joe, and at least over the internet, and he's just being spiteful. But if you look at this thing, I don't know how we can share a picture of this show. It's all over the news.
There's a capture function.
Can we capture?
There, that's about it.
Yeah, this is also our first video on Hangouts, so we are new to this universe. Let's see what's going on here. Capture. Q&A. Capture just capture screenshots.
Yeah, I'm looking to see Google Earth even from here.
If I screen share Google Earth, will that show up on the video?
It should.
Does anybody... Yeah, is that on the video now?
Yeah, there you go.
So it's on the video, right? My face is no longer in the video. Google Earth is.
Yes.
All right, so we're looking around trying to find this thing, and guess what? How do I close this stupid thing? This is at an elevation of how many feet? Hold on one second. How do I turn this, the database off? No, I still have this tour. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is at an elevation of altitude 159 miles in the air. When you zoom in to like 28 miles, 15 miles even, and the elevation, I don't know what that's all about. Oh, the elevation of the Earth, I say, based on the water. Well, you don't really see much when you zoom in. It starts to become pixelated. It seems like they took this from a low Earth orbit, these shots.
Well, it is Siberia.
Yeah, I mean, they could at least try to, give us a better image of the world. What is this giant desert in the middle of?
I don't think it's desert. I think it's like ice or water.
That's a desert, dude. And it's supposed to be Siberia, so you think it's cold there? Why is it brown, like a desert?
Maybe it's mushy brown snow. I have no idea.
No one knows what that is either. But the point is, this thing's supposed to be gigantic, and you see all these lake formations all over this weird province here, and this is getting us nowhere because they said it's, what did they say? It's how many miles from this oil field, Joe?
30 kilometers from a gas field.
Right. Well, there's no gas field that existed on 49 2013, or at least not from outer space or wherever this imagery was taken.
So that'd be about 20 miles outside of this gas field, which I don't even know where it's at. But which, if you look at the geological features there, it looks like a hole like this is not uncommon.
Yeah, I dispute that, Joe, because these are all holes. If they were even created by meteorites or asteroids or whatever you want to say, it looks like they were created possibly thousands, even millions of years ago. If they're filled with water, no?
Yeah, maybe melting ice.
Melting ice, but how long ago? These
No.
types of evolutionary changes take tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, no?
You should pull up a picture of the hole.
All right. Yes, we should show you a picture of this thing. So whoever you are out there, you can see this weird thing, and it's pretty creepy, so hold on. Let me just get back to... Where the hell's my broadcast? Oh, what? Where? Technical difficulties here for a second. For some reason, Joe, I don't think that even we shared anything there. I think Google Earth was never shared, but
I saw it.
You saw it, but did the rest of...
I think so, because you disappeared. So.
Oh, but now I came back for some reason.
I have no idea.
All right, hold on. Let me try this screen share. Why am I here? Okay. Can you see that, Joe?
It's black right now. There you go, yes.
Massive mystery crater at end of the world. Now, of course, the end of the world thing's for headlines. It's just, place is just called the end of the world.
Yeah, I think that region's been nicknamed that.
Right. So, but look at this thing. I mean, can I play this video and will it show up, Joe?
It'll probably lose some frame rate, but it should work.
Who is this Bill Maher? Get out of here. Oh, this is we have to watch a commercial. Hold on, we'll wait till the commercial's over. Oh my God.
You need an ad blocker, man.
This could be the greatest scientific discovery of all time, and they're showing an advertisement. All right, here we go.
There we go. See, I think it's like an underground pocket.
The cylindrical shape is weird. It seems like it, almost like. Look at it.
I think it's like an underground pocket.
Hold on, Joe. What the hell is that thing? All right, now listen. What did you say you thought it was? How do I get back? Oh, right.
So apparently this region is for gas pockets.
So you think that a giant gas pocket caused that? How deep are they saying this thing is? Do they even know? They don't know, right?
I don't think they know.
So how can you say, what the hell? How do I get out of here? How do I, okay, am I back? No, stop it. Oh my, how do I stop screen sharing?
I have no idea.
Okay,
there you go.
So Joe, you're telling me that you believe what happened here. What's your rational, sort of based on science explanation for what
right, so
this giant hellhole is? Because
if you read some of the explanations for similar craters in the area, there is natural gas trapped under the earth, and basically it belched out, and there you have it.
And you're saying that this happened overnight?
I have no idea when this happened.
And we do not even know the extent or the depth of this monstrous alien hole in the world. I mean, what is this thing, dude? How come? Do we have any pictures of any other ones that were naturally created?
Let me look. This reminds me of the Well to Hell hoax. Do you remember that?
Yes, I actually looked it up before I.
Yeah, I think it wasn't in the same region even.
I don't
Like,
think this is a hoax this time, Joe. I don't think it's actually going to hell, but I think it may be close to the core of the Earth. The thing is, there was a recent study that stated um, before you reach the core and the lava, there is actually enough water to flood the Earth 10 times over, which is a recent discovery. So how far does this thing go down is the question.
I did look at some of the. I guess the area is being kind of experimented on to claim some natural gas. I believe there's a company, energy company in Russia called Gaz. Was it Gazprom?
An energy company.
Yeah, maybe they
You're,
made the.
you're putting the pieces together, Joe, because we have one more video to show. Can we do it through YouTube, Joe?
I don't know. We can try.
Is that what we would normally do with the YouTube button on here? I'm sorry for I have to apologize to our audience for not knowing how this works quite well yet. So if I hit YouTube and hit accept, some things to remember. Everyone sees the same video playing.
Everyone.
Oh, okay.
There
I
we
see.
go. There we go.
All right. Well, I don't
You
I
have
don't
to
know.
add videos to the playlist first, apparently.
There. Boy, this is a bad. Not much. There's going to have to be a lot of editing to do on this thing. How do you? I don't understand.
I think you have to add videos to the playlist. Yeah, you have to search or paste in the URL. And
Where?
on the right-hand side, add videos
For
to
me to.
playlist.
Oh, I see. I see. Ah, okay. Now let's play it. There it is. There it is. All right, Joe.
Yes.
How do we get out of YouTube mode here? All right, we just heard the president stating that he was placing further sanctions on Russia over the Ukraine issue.
It's unrelated, Mike.
In my opinion, I don't know what's going on in the Ukraine because I thought that was all over with.
No.
Now the president is talking about that hole there because if there's an alien spacecraft down there, we're not sharing that technology with them, and this is causing a breakdown of relations with the United States and Russia. But I'm still stuck in the YouTube world, and okay, I left it now. But is that a plausible theory, Joe?
I don't think so.
I think it is. I think it may be plausible that this hole has been around. Somebody said it's been around for 2 years. Who is that? That Ruben. He said, I won't give his real name, I could, but he said they focus in on popular areas, i.e. cities. Also, sometimes they use airplanes. Okay, thanks, Professor Einstein with his knowing about Google Maps and Earth. Yes, he also
Sorry,
said,
Ruben.
right, they sometimes focus on popular areas, like cities. Oh, I didn't know that about Google Earth. No, but yes, yeah, Ruben says this could have been 2 years old. Well, how come every news organization in the world, RT, MSNBC, maybe I don't know if it hit CNN at all, probably, they're all converging on this now. So you're telling me it's been there for 2 years? No way. Maybe after Russia saw what's going on there, because there's a lot of oil activity in this area. Is this a super weapon from outer space that's been used by a major power in the world, Joe?
I don't think so.
What the fuck? Excuse me. What are we talking about here?
I found the best scientific evidence. It's there in the chat window. I pasted the link there.
A mysterious giant hole and crater.
Yeah, scroll down below the pictures and the video, and you'll actually get some scientific.
The permafrost can be hundreds of meters thick, allowing for large ice features. This is obviously a very extreme version of that, and if there's been any interaction with the gas in the area, that is a question that could only be answered by going there. We're seeing much more activity in permafrost areas than we're seeing in the historical past. A lot of this relates to the high degree of warming around these Arctic areas, which are experiencing some of the highest rates of warming on the Earth. Well, is this a global warming issue, Joe?
That's what scientists think so far.
This is caused by global warming, a giant hole in the Earth.
Yeah, they call it a pingo, a block of ice that's grown into a small hill in the frozen ground, and then it melts away. And
we don't know how far down this hole goes, though.
No.
Has anyone sent anything down there? A camera, a helicopter, anything?
No, they're planning on doing it.
Will anyone come back alive if they go down there?
I'd like to see a quadcopter sent down there.
Yeah, I agree. They should send down. Well, that's why you have flashlights and stuff like that, Joe.
Unless your UFO is like down there and has some light,
If there is a UFO down there, Joe, do you think they'll ever tell us about it? Do you think we'll ever find out? Honestly.
I don't know.
The Cryosphere Institute of the Russian Academy of Sciences, an organization no one has heard of in the entire world until now, except for maybe some scientists. They plan to take soil, air, and water samples from the scene. Now, Is this an independent organization, or is this like the National Institute of Health and Sciences in the United States? I mean, they get all their funding from the federal government. Is it similar to that? We have to look up this organization now and find out.
On their site right now. It's being translated here.
Is there any recent news that's breaking about this thing?
Let's see here. Not on their page.
The Week magazine said scientists. Oh, we know that they're investigating, but have they even gotten there yet, or what?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody's gotten there yet.
Well, certainly someone's gotten there, Joe. There's a helicopter flying by taking pictures of the damn thing. Whose helicopter is that?
You know what? I have no idea.
There's no way, if you were a regular Russian citizen, right, and you decided you wanted to go to this hole in the ground, there's absolutely no way they would let you in. It's already probably been quarantined, cordoned off. If it is extraterrestrial, maybe it's even a meteorite, which they already ruled out. Imagine if it actually had some kind of alien bacteria that would destroy the whole Earth or something. I mean, they would have to report this to United Nations according to some sort of rules that were laid out years ago. I think that's what they're trying to determine now, if this is extraterrestrial in origin.
So I found a site.
I mean, I'm not talking about aliens coming out of a spaceship. I'm using that as sort of an analogy for this could actually be some kind of alien rock or asteroid that smashed into the ground there, but it would have registered. No, don't they have these seismologists that would have seen
Well,
them?
they're saying if it was an explosion, it'd have to be a pretty big one. I don't remember how many megatons, and it would have been recorded by something. I see. It says
Right.
tomorrow.
It would
It
have been
says
recorded
tomorrow.
as far as the United States. Yes?
That's interesting. It says on 7/15 that they were going to send scientists tomorrow, so that would have been yesterday. But given the time difference between Russia and me, they should be there any second. I have no
They
idea.
should be there now. That's what's going on. They're there now. It's daytime there. I don't know. I would hate to be the one to go down into that thing. So Joe's explanation is that this is a natural occurrence. What's with the cylindrically perfect-looking
It's not perfect.
outer hole? No, it's not perfect, but it just looks molted, like melted over, and then inside, on the inner part of it, it's like a spiral or something.
So the Russian Academy of Scientists have sent a representative and 2 staff members of Arctic Studies Center. It's okay. The departure expedition is scheduled for July 16th. So, considering they're going to leave on the 16th, yeah, they should know something well, they should be able to get samples any day, but God only knows when the results would be back, right?
We'll never get those results back, Joe.
Follow up video.
They're going to falsify those results if it's extraterrestrial in origin. Think about the panic on the streets. If people found out this was a highly advanced alien bacteria or even some sort of life from outer space, all these religious wackos would go crazy.
I'm looking at some of the other things that this research center does.
I'm getting angry at you, Joe. I'm just joking.
Well, they're excavating an ancient sanctuary. What is this?
Wait, that's a whole different story. We're not. That sounds like a cover sanctuary. If we start hearing about an ancient sanctuary around that area, we know that the hole has been covered up now. You can't cover up a giant 250-foot hole or whatever this thing is. Why aren't they giving us the circumference? Why are they just giving us the width?
I don't know.
Was that a pager?
No, it was my cell phone.
Oh. 256 foot crater. Well, we need someone else to discuss this with, I'm afraid.
Nobody in Google Hangouts has so many people that browse around. You would think somebody would stop in.
Someone of some, even if it's like
a scientist would be awesome.
Right, we need a Russian scientist now more than ever.
Because I don't think the aliens are going to come talk to you on Google Hangout.
Listen, I'm not saying that aliens are down there, and if they are, they're probably dead or something. They probably orbited in a high polar orbit above the detection of most of our detection systems, and they probably crashed in this area. But they could have, not probably. But the thing is, how come Russia is handling this internally? How come they're not letting other scientists in from countries?
I think they're the closest ones, Mike.
Here's the thing. How was this discovered? I have an answer to how this was discovered. Okay, now, according to Ruben over there, it was discovered 2 years ago. He's completely incorrect. This was discovered by oil workers on a routine helicopter flight
Ah.
Now everyone is speculating its origins. Now, the oil workers, that should give us some hint to what. Is this related to an oil explosion? The Soviet Union used to use underground nuclear weapons to create blast holes to run oil and stuff like that through their. They used to use it for an actual, you could say, a purpose other than for destruction. They'd actually use it to create caves and stuff to run pipe. Is this what this is? Is this just an underground? No, it can't be, because it says experts say that the darkening around the inner rim of the crater indicated severe burning that scorched its edges.
I see the darkening. I see what looks like fresh soil on the top, and then it goes into a dark gray, and then kind of down into a lighter gray, and then there's the blackness of the hole.
Right. I mean, that thing looks like it's going down tens of thousands of feet down, at least.
I love your scientific.
I mean, when you look at it, honestly, though, when you look at it, can we get a picture back up of this thing, just real quick? Hold on.
I think there still is a picture, because I still see the YouTube picture there. Do you?
No.
No? I would like. We need to figure out how this looks on.
We'll figure it out. All right, starting the screen share again. I don't know if anyone can see this whole. Look at that. Now, maybe if I zoom in, can you see the zoom in?
Yes.
Can you?
Yep.
You see I'm zoomed in, yes?
Yes.
All right.
Look. It looks like the sand is like falling down pretty far.
But, I mean, do you see my cursor at all or no?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, think about like one guy could stand there and he'd be like a little dot, okay? Now that's probably what this is. If you think about how deep that is, it's like unbelievably deep, to the point where sunlight can't even reach down there on a bright sunny day out there.
I wonder if you could take. Doesn't it look like some of the sediment or the sand or whatever is going down into the hole? I wonder if you could take that measurement by what they're estimating the width of the crater is, and kind of get. I mean, we know it goes down at least that far. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't know. You don't really know the angle at what that is falling at either. So.
Well, if you look at everything else around it, I mean, this looks like some shrubbery or something. Very pixelated. You think someone flying a helicopter over the place would bring a better camera. But...
you think they would, like, go closer to it?
Yeah, I'd fly right down into it. What are you, crazy? And it's a giant hole in the earth. Don't you want to know what's down there? Ultimately, I mean, that's what's going to go down there and never come back, and then they're going to seal it up with cement or something. You know, they'll just hear his agonizing screams to never return or something like that. Let's see.
I think there'll be a nice scientific explanation within a week or so.
You mean the cover story for what is really going on? That's what you're talking about, Joe.
I do not share your enthusiasm.
Because this will not... I have a legitimate case and a legitimate argument for stating that, only because we know that what's going on here is only government researchers are being allowed in to this place, correct? I mean, only Russian scientists are being allowed in there. So how can you do a peer review or have an international study done on this thing when the Russians won't let anyone in there?
So you want to see evidence of other countries investigating it, right?
Multiple countries, so it can be peer reviewed. Yeah, I mean, they're going to come out with some crazy report with a lack of scientific data, making things up as they go along that they can't explain because none of them are brave enough to actually go down there. You know, what was the seismology report for when that thing opened? You know, in the United States, that would be public knowledge.
Let's see if I can find any other info here.
I'm going to look for seismological activity around the world and see if that area is even monitored for it. It should be by the United States government due to the Cold War. It's probably still being monitored. I don't understand why it wouldn't show up. Every earthquake in the world is like tracked now, and it's viewable online.
Right.
So if this happened on the 16th or the 15th, let's even give it a week, a month maybe, it should show up, no?
Happened yesterday.
Yesterday from when that report was made.
Right.
All right, so off the coast, I mean, you would be surprised how many earthquakes. Magnitude 5 off the Solomon Islands. That was just yesterday.
Maybe Godzilla finally broke out.
Fiji Islands, 4.3. Yeah, it could be. Let me see. Nothing registering around that area, but then again, I don't know if Russia shares that data with the rest of the world. We need someone from Russia in here.
Release the Kraken!
Incorporated Research Institutions for Seismology. Guess what? They show nothing in that area. A lot of earthquakes in Alaska, Northern California, obviously. What about a seismological event that's not caused by an earthquake? Is that even tracked? You know, like a nuclear explosion or?
Yes. Yes, it is, and there was none. Because remember, I found it'd have to be, for a crater that big, they were saying something like 3 megaton explosion, and it definitely would have shown up on international.
Right. I mean, that would have triggered.
That's if it was a traditional like surface explosion, not kind of an implosion down.
So are you saying a surface explosion of nuclear origins, or it has to be?
Gas. I'm still sticking with the natural gas.
Okay. I mean, I think nuclear would be picked up by everyone, though.
Right.
Right.
So, okay, those scientists are not, it doesn't look like they're from the government, but there is somebody from Russia's emergencies ministry going with them. So, I did find that.
I see. To make sure that these scientists are kept on a leash. They probably already they're probably drafting. I'm not saying that the United States government does it. All world powers do it. They're probably drafting some kind of official story just in case the real story is so crazy that they can't tell anyone what it is. You know what I mean? It could be anything. It could be some nuke that they left down there by mistake, like 100 years ago, 50 years ago.
Okay.
That went off.
All right. Well, by it, plausible.
It could be anything, but if it's so horrendous that no one can know about it, that it undermines the government of Russia itself, they'll never release it. They'll never tell you what it was. And I see the North Pacific being monitored with a seismic monitor. I don't necessarily see the Soviet Union, or what am I talking about? The Russian Federation being monitored. It seems like we're linked up to Turkey and Western Europe, but that's about it. There's a station in Kislavdovsk, Russia, which is the most eastern part I can find. Hello?
Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm reading a bunch of trolling on comments that people have, and it's hilarious.
Telex, Russian Academy of Sciences, from September 14th, 1998 to January 26, 1994, sensors were on a pier in the basement of the recording building. Effective 1994, they were moved to a pier in a nearby vault excavated back into a limestone cliff, accessible by a 10-meter-long horizontal tunnel. A lot of these were set up, I think, because of the START Treaty, or START Treaties, or the Nuclear Test Ban Treaty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like we can access ones in Russia at all. Greece, Crete, Turkey, Jordan, Strait of Gibraltar, Aegean Sea, Cyprus, northwestern Balkan region. There's nothing about Russia on this list at all. Hmm. I'm actually looking seismological activity, Joe, and I'm not seeing anything.
I don't think it would.
The Chinese are reporting stuff going on all the time. Kazakhstan is. Russia's not reporting anything. Are you telling me they never have earthquakes over there?
I think it was a blowout, but I don't think it would have been like. I don't know. We'd have to figure out the size of the hole and what it would take for that material to be blown out of there. It doesn't look like there's that much material, though, does it? If you look around the outside.
What's interesting is the sensors that are in Russia that I have found, there's almost only one, okay? There's only one up in that region in Siberia. It's operated by the Russian Academy of Sciences, Expedition Institute of Physics of the Earth, Experimental and Methodical. What? What? Hold on. Station director, Sergio, I don't know, that's some Russian name, I can't pronounce it. Stratified, altered, metasedimentary rocks associated with Permo-Triassic, Gabbro, Deliriate. All right, clearly I have no idea what that means. Site is a working nickel mine. Piers are in an instrument room at the end of 35-meter long side tunnel off Maine. Okay, so that's where they're getting the global seismological network had that installed in 92 and then in 99 after the fall of the Soviet Union. This is bad, Joe. They have nothing up there to even measure seismological stuff going on.
It's a sinkhole.
There's no way that is a sinkhole. Look at this picture, Joe. Hold on, please. We're going back to the pictures just one more time so I can emphasize what this is we're looking at. This is not like some guy got swallowed up in his house from a sinkhole in the middle of Louisiana or something. This is, look how big that thing is, dude. That is enormous. That's like, how many, was that, 20,000 feet in the air this picture was taken?
There was somewhere it said the pilots of the aircraft said the aircraft would fit in it, so we know it's at least big enough for the helicopter to.
Right, and that looks like it was taken from a 747 or something. It's unbelievable. Why are all the images of it pixelated, though? I mean, what is with this? Yeah, is everyone trying to save bandwidth lately, or what? I don't understand. How big is this image here?
I think when I saw the video, it was in 480p or something.
600 by 390 pixels. I mean, there's people who have profile pictures bigger than that. Unbelievable. There's an awkward silence, Joe.
I'm looking at pictures of craters here.
And are you seeing any that look anything like this?
Some, but they seem to be related to like magma that is cooled and then either exploded or caved in.
We would see the magma, Joe. We would see.
No, from a long time ago is what I'm saying.
What, millions of years ago?
Yeah. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So what are the chances of this happening in our lifetimes, given the seismological history of the Earth and all this stuff?
If you look at that landscape, how many holes did you see there, Mike? You're gonna have
Google Earth? We don't know that those are holes. They look like lakes, Joe.
Well, now they are. It rained. It filled
From
up.
millions of years ago when dinosaurs still roamed the Earth. This is not Jurassic Park. Go back to it again. I mean, what the hell are you talking about, dude? You're an intelligent person. What? Hold on. Let me move us back into the screen share for the Google activity, if I can find it anymore. Google Earth. Right.
I'm still trying to find this darn gas field so I can.
Right. So we're looking at this from outer space because nobody decided to fly closer to Siberia for some reason. I mean, you can't zoom in that well. This is like as good as it gets, okay? Now if you look at these things, these are lakes that probably formed over who knows how many centuries, how many thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years. Who knows how long they've been there? The
Right.
base.
So how many of those do you think happened in the last 5,000 years?
I have no idea, Joe. I have no idea. But why are they filled with water?
Well, that's what holes do.
So you're saying they're already ruling out a meteorite. These look like impact craters, Joe, from a continent able to protect this part of the Earth or whatever. You know,
It's interesting that peninsula, and then if you go down to the southwest, you'll see a little bit of it inland too, to the left of the peninsula, across the water there, just a little bit there. But otherwise, it doesn't seem like a common.
Is that a hole, Joe?
No, that's
There's water down there, yeah.
Yeah.
We need that Google truck over there today.
Google Maps, Google Street View that.
Fish.
Is it just me, or does that whole peninsula look like a devilish? Look at it, like a little nose sticking out there.
Is that why it's called the end of the world, Joe?
I don't know.
It's hyperbolia from ancient Europe.
I don't know if it's Google Hangouts or your audio, but I keep getting distorted.
My audio? My audio could be distorted. How about, hold on, how about now?
It seems okay right now.
I just pulled the USB out. Maybe it was some sort of interference.
It does sound better. I think what you thought was a desert there, by the way, is actually muddy water from the river. If you look at the rivers, they're all muddy. So anytime there's flow, it looks like...
Well, that's definitely water, but it looks like it's thin, right? This looks like...
I think it's muddy water.
Well, this is... You gotta realize it's ice cold up here, so it can't be...
Very when you look at it on Google Earth, it doesn't look cold.
Right, that's actually tundra world. You can't... why it looks green and, earthly. Maybe they took this on. I don't know. Shouldn't this all be frozen over or something?
Maybe it's like the summer period for it.
The tundra doesn't melt, Joe.
Does Siberia ever get warm weather? I don't think so.
This has got to be a rendering of composite imagery here. I don't think that this is an actual portrayal of the region. Because if you go here, let's just go to, like, what's the nearest town around here that's not, like, is there a town? I mean, how much unusable land does Russia have? It's, like, unbelievable. Hold on one second. All right, so we've got something here, right? Places.
Places will actually give you some photos, I think. Yeah.
Right, so let's just go here. This is far away.
There is photos if you zoom in on the peninsula. I did find some. And it's always cold weather for the most part.
It's ice. All right. Yeah. So why are we seeing, like, from the Google view? You've got, like, I mean, look at that thing.
I have no idea.
From the Google view, it's like green land, literally.
Yeah. And is it the same way like over in Canada? You go north.
Here, it looks like there's not that much snow. It looks like people might live around here even. Yeah, it's a town right here, or a graveyard. Oh my God, I don't know what that is. So there's some kind of town here. See, even if we zoom in.
Well, I found some 360 views, and they don't look frozen.
This area is not, but it's clearly cold. Look at this guy in this lake. Look at them. They're frozen.
Must be nothing to do out there.
I'm looking for a town nearby. This is why we need... Are these roads, or what are these? These are canals?
They look like rivers to me.
Oh, boy. All right. Yeah, that's about it for Siberia. Yeah, there's some guy there. All right. So we don't have accurate photos of Siberia at all. We have pictures of a missile launching station.
I think they're drilling for oil.
Guy on skis, and yeah, that's about it.
That is interesting that there's so much snow there, and you know there is, but you look on Google Earth and the pictures show the snow.
Right, but Google Earth does not.
There's got to be an explanation for that.
Now look at this. This is ice covered here. If we go way up, we go to Greenland, we see it's fully permafrost.
It must be the season.
It's possible it's the season, but it never changes on Google. It always looks like this on Google Earth.
Right.
It never really. You never see like, either they're too lazy to update it or they don't care, or like let's see. Here's some province here. When we zoom in, can we get? Look at this. Okay, so now we have structural, at least from a couple hundred feet up, maybe a couple thousand. We have a picture of a town that looks more like a landing strip, but it's a town. All right. That's at least more accurate. When we get up to this Siberian region, they've got no, it looks like they're using some kind of long range, maybe from low Earth orbit to take pictures of this, because this doesn't even look, it's pixelated and it looks terrible. And what is this hole? Where is it? Do we have any? We don't even have, if this is such a big deal, where is the latitude and longitude for this thing? Has anyone even figured that out? Can we figure that out, Joe?
I'm sure we probably could. We could probably.
I looked it up. I looked up Hell's Hole, Russia.
I think you should email the Cryosphere Russian Academy of Sciences and ask them where they're sending their scientists to.
And they're not going to answer me.
I will email them.
How come it's not in any news report where this thing is? That interests me too. Now here you can see, what's this picture all about? Huh. Maybe that is how the Earth looks there. Sort of. It's a coastal, barren region. Oh my God. What is going on here? All right, yeah, this is an autonomous region. So what is it? It's like self-governing area of Russia or something?
We should find a Russian IRC channel.
The language gap is too big. They won't, and plus the U.S. and Russian relations have broken down. They're not going to talk to us about an alien crater. Look at this. This looks like it's all set up for some kind of experimentation, or at the very least, oil drilling.
Yeah, I think it's an energy company looking for some.
And the president just put sanctions on those companies. The president of the United States. Now there's a giant hole in the ground. What does this tell us about what's going on there? Could this have been a secret operation to damage Russia's oil fields, Joseph?
I don't know.
Well, we know it's not radioactive.
Well, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, we're presuming that it's not, because international monitors would have detected that at least somewhere in Western Europe, or I think in Greenland. Somewhere. I mean, someone would have detected, at least the United States would have detected it.
I'm looking for Russia.
I'm in the region again, Joe. I'm looking up this picture, and I see what looks to be a large campsite with a lot of trucks. And if I'm not mistaken, Joe, that looks a lot like some kind of military barracks. Correct?
Maybe it's just a tent for supplies.
Yeah, but why is it green and looks like it's from MASH? You know what I mean?
You got red trucks sitting right next to it, man.
Yeah, but the red trucks could just never mind. Forget it. You know, I just forget. Yeah, they're gonna send tanks up there. They need the trucks to navigate the ice. We've all seen the X-Files movie.
I'm still looking for Russians to chat with us here.
Once they find out we're from the United States, they want nothing to do with us. We're putting sanctions all over their country. They want nothing to do with us. Let me see. Those are oil fields right there, but we can't proximate. There's no proximity for where these oil field, the oil field they're talking about is. There's no. We don't have the latitude and longitude, I'm afraid. Look, this is off the coast. This is hundreds of miles off the coast. I don't know if you see that, Joe. And yeah, even that's like frozen.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's any kind of layering or something that we're missing here on Google Earth. But
so there's a lot of oil flowing right around here. A lot. And it's very cold in Siberia. So I don't know the answer to these questions. I have to assume, based on a preponderance of the evidence, this is an extraterrestrial hole of extraterrestrial origin. Stuff like this doesn't just appear, Joe.
Sure,
this would be equivalent to, like, you know, Yosemite National Park erupting or something. Yellowstone erupting.
Somebody said, and that's where I got the magma flow idea, that there was similar craters in Yellowstone at one point.
How long ago was that? Millions of years ago?
I don't know. Let me look them up.
And Yellowstone could still erupt, and it would take out half of the United States.
That is very true, and actually, I was just researching. It's kind of a scary thing. The actual ground in certain parts in Yellowstone is like swelling like up to 11 inches, which is kind of freaky.
Right. I mean, I don't think they're predicting it to erupt in our lifetime, but it would be pretty disastrous. Imagine if this happened in a populated area. It would be disastrous. 262 feet wide. You could send down a small aerial drone with like a Go cam on it.
Yeah.
You know? Well, we can't get... I mean, there's no way any normal person can get over there now. Right now, they're probably quarantining that whole zone. Just say you got there. You're the international news or whatever. You work for the AP. You get there. Then you have to get on a giant truck plowing through tundra to get there. And then it's just a giant hole that you can't do anything about. You know what I mean? Like, there's no real reason for them to report on it.
I'm looking at crater photos.
Some people are saying, someone from Northern Ireland who knows who this person is, I think it's a meteorite crater. Myself and colleagues watched a mysterious large white dot in the sky during the day yesterday. We couldn't work out what it was. I'm willing to bet it caused the crater. Interesting. Jane, Belfast, Northern Ireland. All right. Now, some guy from Alabama says, it looks like a sinkhole, plain and simple. John from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Wow, what isn't global warming responsible for? I'm blaming my hemorrhoids on it, says Elmer Evans from Anaheim, California. Why couldn't have this occurred under the White House? Oh man, what terrible luck. A power engineer in Houston, Texas. Jesus Christ. All right, that's crazy. And this looks like it happened at least on the 15th or the 14th, debunking the idea and the myth that it happened 2 years ago, propagated by someone over the internet. I'm looking at an image now being uploaded by this person. Who is it? Is that him? Ruben.
You're seeing if he's still in IRC.
Hmm.
Oh, I see. No, that's not him. That's Tori Belici from Mythbusters.
Oh, well, he's not from Mythbusters, and he should come on here if he wants to be like one of the Mythbusters, no? We don't have any. I mean, your argument is that this was created.
I'm thinking sinkhole. I think the
What? Yes,
the
continue.
I'm thinking the sediment, the color differences in the sediment are just from the way that the Earth is just laid out there in different layers. I think that's pretty simple. It doesn't mean it was scorched or anything like that.
They said it was scorched, Joe.
Because of the color, the gray color there. But, you know, if you blow a hole in the ground deep enough, I think you're going to get some layers. Around here, you'd have limestone, you'd have sand, you'd have clay.
Right. Is that sedimentary rock, limestone?
It's hard to tell. I don't know.
Looks like limestone at the bottom. Well, actually, that looks like limestone. I can't tell, but it would look like limestone to me going around it. Or it was so hot it burned it to glass, Joe.
To glass?
Turned it to glass, yes. Does that look like an outward explosion or an inward explosion, Joe?
Oh, that's hard to tell. There's not very much ridging there.
Let's go back on a sightseeing tour real quick.
Maybe we should look up sinkholes.
Oh, don't do the one where the guy's house goes underground or whatever. I mean, that's just a rarity. Find one in the middle of the desert or something.
Let's see here.
If you look at my screen, Joe, that looks weird, okay? I mean...
Let me look. I'm looking.
It just looks weird, man. You know, it looks like something crashed into that hole and tried to get out. That's what it looks like to me. It's like it crashed in.
How do you make statements like that? What backs up your...
Because you can see like the darkness of the pit to hell there. It looks like it's going straight down 50 miles, and then the ship, it tried to come back out and maybe came out the other, it came right out. I mean, not the ship, but whatever it was. Specifically not a starship or a ship operated by extraterrestrial biological entities, but it looks like some sort of intelligence was involved in the creation of this. It does not look like a natural. This doesn't look like a natural phenomenon to me.
Well, these holes, if you do, I've been reading different pages. Apparently, this area of Russia is known for mysterious holes just appearing overnight. It's not uncommon. I think this one just obviously has some video here, and they're working for a gas company. It doesn't say what kind of gas. I mean, I'm guessing natural gas. The people in the chopper.
Well, they say there's a huge amount of methane gas in that region, which may make it more susceptible to explosions. But I mean, how much methane gas built up under there, and over how much of a time frame for that to happen?
Right.
I mean, that just seems crazy. That means there was a cave under there already, I would think.
Mysterious giant crater is 30 kilometers apart from the Boveninkovo gas field. No explosive works had been carried out in the area. It is pretty sure that they excluded the hand-to-man had nothing to do with it.
Well, is this coming from a Russian news source?
I don't know where these people are from here.
Who would write the hand of man that had nothing to do with it? I mean, it already sounds crazy.
They don't think it's a military exercise because it's near a huge gas production plant. They obviously you'd think.
Right. Was this an orbital weapon?
I saw that actually. I saw somebody say that might be.
Has a major power launched a space weapon into space?
Well, we wouldn't know about it, that's for sure.
If so, that would violate a whole bunch of treaties, I think.
So I see him talking about the color differences, right? Evidences are that the Earth accumulation around the hole and its darker color, which some people say is due to the thermal effect of an impact, but the sinkhole's dimensions are too large. The darker color is due to the permafrost layer.
What darker color?
The dark gray around the ridges there.
Oh, right.
So they're saying that that's the permafrost, and that's why it looks darker like that.
So that's permafrost under there, right?
If it was an impact, it would have been recorded by multiple seismometers in the region around the world.
So clearly an explosion happened, but why no seismological report? I mean, you said this was a 3 kiloton explosion or megaton? 3 kiloton, right?
That was somebody's explanation, guesstimation, let's put it that way.
3 kilotons.
They tried to figure out how much Earth had been displaced. It does look like it's sinking down towards the center the more I look at it. Doesn't it?
It looks like there is a blast radius around it.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, you got all that debris.
Right. That's the blast radius. It has to be. So there's something drilled down there, a giant laser beam from space, all right, or something exploded out of there, and we don't know what it was.
We're going to have to do a follow-up video and we actually get some actual evidence.
Well, just say that was methane gas.
Mm-hmm.
Where's all the methane gas now? Is it all around? Wouldn't it be explosive just to go near that thing?
I don't know. I don't know how quickly it would dissipate. No idea.
It would be all around, Joe. It would be all around.
I know when a cow farts, it's methane. It does go away,
It does, but this is not a cow farting, Joe. This is 380 meter in diameter hole in the ground that just appeared out of nowhere. It's currently being exploited by the Russian energy giant Gazprom.
I keep seeing them mentioned, yes. Let's look up Gazprom.
Are they one of the organizations being sanctioned by the government of the United States?
I don't know. Stock price.
They're down.
Actually, it looks like they're up.
Oh, they're down. They're down 1.59%, Joe. Gazprom. Unaware. Iran says it will work closely with Gazprom. Well, this is not good, eh? Let's see. Gazprom, Ukraine. Let's see. Siberia explosion. Let's see if there's anyone that's linked those.
Oh, look at this. Gazprom was created in 1989 when the Soviet Ministry of Gas Industry transformed itself into a corporation. That's interesting.
So it's probably still state-run, Joe.
Yeah, the government holds the majority stake in the company.
Was this an act of sabotage?
They produce more than 17% of worldwide gas production. So that would be natural gas. 18.12 trillion cubic feet. And they also produce 32.3 million tons of crude oil and 12.1 million tons of gas condensate. Interesting.
Screen share, Joe.
Oh, you have my screen share? Okay, I'll screen share.
Oh, wait, I'm about to screen share with you.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Explosion in gas pipeline from Siberia.
Yeah.
Going straight to the Ukraine to perhaps Western Europe.
Yeah, it was in June.
Second largest in the world. Yes, this is dated June 18th, 2014. That's almost a month to the date. Some crazy nutcase wrote some nonsense. Who knows what they're talking about? All right, so this doesn't give us much information other than this was a gas prong, whatever the name of this company is, owned thing. So it's a Russian oil pipeline going through from Siberia through the Ukraine to Europe. Would you like to screen share, Joe? That's all I had to share.
No, I was just looking at the Wikipedia on Gazprom.
All right.
I'm trying to find more link for between them and the creator, because they're the ones apparently that the helicopter, they were working in that area, and they're the one that captured it apparently.
So they own the helicopter that took the photo.
I think I read that earlier.
Still,
who else would be out there, right? In a helicopter.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the middle of, I don't know about sinkholes occurring in the middle of Siberia, Joe.
It happens a lot.
How come we're getting Ross story says it's likely been caused by global warming, not UFOs?
So apparently the story there goes this used to all be under the ocean, and there's lots of salt in the sediment there and frozen ice, and apparently it warms up and melts from time to time. No idea.
You know what, Joe? That sounds like a bunch of crap to me. There's some scientist who's from there that says... There's a scientist from the University of New South Wales, Dr. Chris Fogwell, a polar scientist who's never actually been there, obviously. He's just looking at the same pictures we are, but clearly he has more knowledge than we do about this stuff. He says it's a pingo, just like you said earlier, a block of ice that forms under frozen Arctic hillsides that can eventually push through the earth and leave an exposed crater once it melts away. Fogwell said the permafrost can be hundreds or even thousands of feet thick, allowing for very large ice formations. He said this is a very extreme version of that, though.
Right, he's saying the pingos can be seen all over, which is what I think we were seeing earlier, older ones. We're seeing...
He says if there's been any interaction with the gas in the area, it's a question that can only be answered by going there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Global warming may cause more pingos, which are sometimes so large they can be seen from space. He went on Google Earth, too. Okay.
Can we search Google Earth for pingo?
I don't know what would happen if we did that. Do you want to try that?
I'm searching. Nothing. I got an ad for pingo.com. I'm not clicking on it.
Right. Yeah, they sell international calling cards at pingo.com. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. Here's an example. Hold on, everyone. Let's see if I can screen share again. This is an example of a pingo. That doesn't look like what we're talking about, Joe.
That's not right. That's something else.
That's a pingo, Joe.
No.
Melting pingo wedge ice.
Well, I think it depends on the area. Look for Siberian Pingo.
Oh my god.
Google
That
Images.
sounds like a video game. Hold on. Siberian pingo.
Okay, well, they look like mountains to me.
They look
Oh,
like mountains, yes. They don't
yeah,
look like
one or
giant
two that look
craters.
similar. And then actually,
There's ours right there. There's the one
yeah,
we're
I see the
talking about.
crater.
That doesn't look like a pingo to me, Joe. It's surrounded by grass and stuff. I don't know what that is.
It's an ancient Pingo.
Oh my god. Well, how come I went to click on and it downloaded a document? Never mind.
You're infecting people's computers, Mike.
Yeah. That's what our guest star who never appeared decided to say. I'm loading people's computer with malware. Is this no? This is the same hole.
Yeah, it is.
80-meter wide crater in northern Siberia. Opinions divided. The rest of the pingos look nothing like it. Hmm. Huh. I don't see. What? What's this? Get a clearer picture of that? What the hell is that?
No idea.
Is that supposed to be a pingo too?
I have no clue.
Well, clearly this man who claims it's a pingo is quite frankly misinformed. Is this a pingo?
From what I've been seeing from Google Images, it looks.
It looks like a mountain, dude.
It does.
And that's supposed to be filled with permafrost? And what? What causes the explosion?
No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
So you've been debunked here. You can't exclude the fact that this was perhaps extraterrestrial event. Perhaps.
I can't exclude it. I just don't believe it.
Well, the thing is, Joe, what's the simplest answer? The simplest answer is usually the most correct one. Is that right? The most difficult answer to acknowledge yourself is usually the best answer. And sometimes it is the simplest answer. I don't think this is a pingo, my friend.
I hope we get some more video when these scientists go.
Well, I mean, I can go on YouTube now and start looking stuff up, but
I don't think they're there yet, and even if they were, how are they going to have broadband out in the middle of Siberia?
can you see my YouTube sharing right now?
Yeah.
Here's the world's largest hole in Siberia.
I think that's the fake one.
Is this fake?
I think so. If it's the hellhole thing.
Is that
Yeah.
real?
No, I think that's the fake one where they said they heard voices when they lowered a microphone, and it's been debunked for years, I do believe.
Was that caused by a crater impact, or?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up again.
All right.
The fake one, though. The well to hell hoax. It's even on Wikipedia. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Right. We see a lot of sinkholes filled with water, Joe, and they don't look like that. They look very, I don't know, normal, you might say. Earthly. All right, we have a commentator here.
Oh, do we?
Let's see what this man has. He's not part of our chat, but his voice is weird enough that it should be. So hold on. Let's put his YouTube video into the player here and see what he has to say, because he sounds like he's wasted. Come on. Where is this guy from?
We got to look that up now.
Oh, it's biblical.
I feel like this guy should narrate wrestling.
How can he guarantee to us that didn't happen? Whatever.
Oh my god, how does he connect this?
all right. That's good enough, Joe.
He's not trying to make the connection, though.
No, he's making a biblical connection that the world will end soon. He claims that the gates of hell have now opened and that his iPhone told him so.
I would love to be one of those scientists that can, like, look at the angle of the sun and look at the terrain and say, well, here's about where it's at. So I can find it on Google Earth before it explodes.
Right. Could somebody give us the latitude and longitude of this place?
I emailed two of the Russian scientists over there and asked them that, so we'll see if I ever get a response.
Did you really email them? Did you?
Yes.
They will not respond, Joe. They don't want you to know where this thing is, because if people find out where this thing is, forget it. This crazy guy is going to jump in that hole to try to save mankind from hell or something. All right? That's the kind of people that are posting. Now, personally, he says that looks like it came from out of the earth. Clearly, he believes that in the mantle of the earth, Satan exists there or some crazy thing. I think it's possible and very plausible that an extraterrestrial object, not meaning aliens, could have flown down, hit that thing. It looks like an impact site to me, and all of that debris came up from the force magnitude of the impact.
You're thinking it could even be a meteor or any...
It is plausible it could be a meteor, or it could have been directed at the Earth by an intelligent species.
Yeah, I mean, they were way off then if they were targeting something.
No, I mean, not to take out a city, but to it's possible it was some sort of, how did we miss this? Was this a near-Earth object that was missed?
Right.
You have all the resources at your disposal, Joe, with Stack Tech here at your main office to figure out what's going on.
I think we're going to have to wait for details. I'm combing the area where this happened, and there's tons of holes. I want to see.
Yeah, but they're thousands or millions of years old. Now, there's been a talk about a polar shift. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
You have heard about this rumor that a polar shift is coming soon.
Yes.
Is that an old rumor, or is that something that now has credibility?
I still think it's a hypothesis, and they have no clue. We know that geomagnetic reversal will probably happen at some point.
Right, at some point. All right,
I mean,
we have a good
shifting around.
It's moving around in space-time and so forth.
Right.
Let's see. Now, what would happen if that took place? Would there be catastrophic destruction, or nobody would care?
From the research that I've done on, actually, that's funny. 2 nights ago, I was looking at this, and how well, you know how the northern lights and the poles actually protect us from the sun's radiation.
Right.
That's how you get the nice northern lights that look really cool up by the poles, because all that gets deflected to the poles because of our magnetic field around the Earth.
Right.
My guess is, if it shifted somewhere else on the Earth, then you'd have that activity now in a whole new place where it wasn't before. So it probably could interrupt some stuff, but I don't think it would be the end of mankind, like, bam! You know?
Well, that's UV, right? So just say it shifted to the equator. You'd have northern lights in the equator, and then what would you have everywhere else? Ultraviolet radiation, or what? I mean...
Well, that's the thing. Would you really notice anything different besides, like, the northern lights somewhere else?
Right.
Because people live in the Arctic. It's not like the Arctic is completely radioactive or dangerous.
Right. But what happens during the shift, and how long will it take?
Right.
Right.
And obviously compasses and whatnot will be affected.
Yeah, that would be pretty. Yeah, that's going to be.
All your electronics that point to north.
They're going to point south now, right?
Right.
All right, hold on. We have one more video I think we should examine.
All right.
Narrated by a robot. But it's like at this point trying to get all the information we can. So let's see. How do I open this thing up? What's going on? That other guy is still. Gigantic hole opens. The end of the earth is coming. No, that's not the right one. Hold on. What? How do I clear a video?
I just cleared one. Did it clear on your side?
I'm trying to.
Oh my god, it is a robot. Well, that ended abruptly. You're still muted for some reason.
Oh, it just ended like that?
It just ended like that.
Oh, that's a horrible video then. We're getting interesting there. It happened in the USSR 1980s in Siberia. The drilling team has found hell. It is recorded. There is one video called that. It has 153,000 views. I don't think we should watch it. That's like they found hell. Okay, back in the 80s. Yeah, I think that's the same type of story that may be going on now. Well, they need to find out how deep this thing is, though.
How many hours can we do? Maybe we can wait for information to trickle in.
We can do up to 8 hours, Joe, but I don't think people want to see us sleeping and stuff like that. You know?
I did just buy a 2-liter of Mountain Dew. It's in the Stack Tech fridge here, so.
I have my 2-liter of Pepsi right on the ground. Giant hole appears at world's end. 19-second video. Alien crater buried in Siberia. This is from 3 years ago. That must be the one that Ruben was talking about.
Could be.
He just searched for alien crater instead of doing his research. No wonder his computers are infected with malware. You're totally silent on that one.
I was just reading, according to the Siberian Times, the hole may actually have formed about 2 years ago, but previous reports and photos were thought to be fake. So that's why there's so much mystery, I think.
Well, then why don't we see it on Google Maps, Joe? It's 270 feet wide, a giant hole in the earth. You'd think we'd have found it by now. We spent an hour looking at Google Earth. I don't see anything.
Right. There's no new information on this. It's just the same information repeated all over the place.
Well, it's daytime in Russia right now, so I'd imagine that they may be examining this thing and being like, oh my God, look what we found. Sorry about this commercial. I don't know how to bypass.
I think this is the same video, of course.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a natural phenomenon to me, Joseph. It's too cylindrical in shape.
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect, but it's looks quite unnatural, I must say. Gotta love that slow motion noise that they never cut out, you know? Like, sounds like some guy's lawnmower. All right. Well, I would say, Joseph, my final conclusion right now is that this is an alien spacecraft that has crashed there. That's my conclusion.
And when you're proven wrong,
I will be proven wrong by establishment scientists from Russia with no peer review going anywhere else in the world. They're not going to open up this hole and let all the scientists of the world in because they know what's down there already.
who
They
wants
made
to go to Siberia?
contact. Yeah, it's not who wants to go to Siberia. Every scientist, every geologist in the world wants to go to Siberia right now because they want to know what's down there and what happened there. I'll tell you what happened. An unidentified flying object of extraterrestrial origin crash landed, created a giant blast hole, and it's still down there and broken.
As long as we get Thundercats or Transformers out of that, I'll go with it.
There's not going to be any Transformers, Joseph, or Thundercats. This is the work of intelligent beings that are fallible just like us, and it looks like they crashed. Or this could have been a shoot-down order. You're going to see. They'll say, oh, well, it was a meteorite impact that we didn't detect. It was a near-Earth object that we didn't detect, or a bunch of methane gas exploded. It was swamp gas. It was a weather balloon. The stories have gone on for over 100 years now about what this stuff is. Aliens. That's the answer. I think we have one more video I'll go through with you.
All right.
One more second here. Hold on, please. All right, I'm already getting ads and stuff. Let me just plug this in. I'm with this guy. Hold on. Where? We need more information, but clear at this point, I would say it's extraterrestrial in origin. Obviously, the crashing of a craft is conjecture, but it has to be from outer space, in my opinion. This guy's the best.
Is this guy your idol?
I worship him.
Yes. I need to go make a meme now with the crater and him in it. Oh, he had me rolling. You're still there. You go.
I believe it. You know what? What's
It's funny, Mike. You want to believe in UFOs so much, and it's funny because when I watch like fantasy movies with dragons and stuff of that sort, I can relate to that more than like UFOs.
you wait? You can relate to? Hold on. What is wrong with this camera all of a sudden?
You're fuzzy. There you go.
You can relate. You're telling me you can relate to dragons
I guess I
more
choose.
than
I choose
you
to.
can't relate to the idea that there could be life outside of this universe.
I think it's all what you want to believe.
I mean, outside of not outside of this universe. I mean, outside of this solar system, whatever
Right.
galaxy. You think that there's no intelligent life in the galaxy at all?
No, I did not say that. I think the probabilities of that are probably quite high.
But what are the probabilities they've reached Earth?
That I don't know.
I think we just found out with this giant hole.
Or maybe it's like that big worm from Star Wars coming out.
No, it's not a worm. I think it's a starship down there, my friend. You'll never find out. You'll never see another video of that hole again. Because I'll tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna cover that area up. They're gonna put a no-fly zone around it. We'll never know what's really down there.
I hope they do just the opposite to prove you wrong.
They won't. They won't because they don't want people to know what's really down there. Even if it's not extraterrestrial, whatever it is, the public can't know. Whether it's negligence from this government-financed Russian corporation or whatever it is, no one can know what it is. We'll never know what it is, Joe. I think this has been a great video. I don't know how else to end it other than to say, hey, if we actually find out what it is, it could be disinformation. And clearly this is not a forum-related activity, but the month has been slow. And
we were bored. We wanted to chat, and we got to catch up. And so, yeah.
Yeah. How is Stack Tech doing over there, Joe?
Doing pretty good. I have to put some new signage on the building, so that'll be coming soon. I got a new 4-foot vinyl cutter sitting over here that I'm going to utilize to do that. So, and
I think this is good news.
Go ahead.
Do you have a lot of clients coming in now?
I have more people making appointments because what I've decided to do, along with my competition, something they started when I first came into business, they realized I was doing house calls and not charging local people for them if I took their computer back to work on it here at the shop. So that's kind of become part of my business model, and I get so much business where I just go to the person's house, unhook the equipment, bring it in, clean it up, get it to work right, take it back.
Right, right. This is a service that like no one offers around there, probably.
Well, they're starting to because they have to now because people have heard that I'm doing it. I do still charge an hourly rate if you want me to sit at your house and work on it, or if you're a business and I need to go do some networking because obviously I can work on 4, 5, or 6 machines here at once, and I can't do that on a customer site. So.
Well, I think you're going to do very well with this business, Joe.
I hope so.
Think about if an alien craft was down there, Joe. You could not release it to the public because they'd go haywire. All these religious freaks would go nuts. The Vatican Bank would go out of business overnight. I mean, the stock markets would crash.
What about Bitcoin? You think Bitcoin would crash?
It actually might, because there'd be no reason. Once we realize the Earth, we could travel amongst the stars with these alien creatures. If they have the technology, we could develop it too. We wouldn't need money. We would need resources.
I heard a discussion earlier about when Mt. Gox, which was a common place for people to store Bitcoin, and it kind of went bust, and these people were holding their Bitcoins in this third party, basically, before you pay them out to your own personal wallet. And now the government's like, well, we want to protect these people from that happening, and I really hope the government just stays the heck out of it, because it needs to be a self-policing system with no central bank.
Right, and what the hell? They will try. I have the same. And I bought this on a recommendation from you. Is this a Microsoft?
I'm using the same camera.
It's
I'm
a
using
Microsoft
the
camera.
same exact camera.
All right, it's a Microsoft camera too. So visit windowsforum.com.
I'm using the same exact camera.
No, anyway, the Bitcoin thing, yeah, they're trying to regulate it because the central banks are making tons of money through all sorts of weird, pyramid schemes and stuff, and they can't do it with Bitcoin. So of course they're trying to regulate it. It's a decentralized currency. It's a competing currency.
Right.
I predicted that they would regulate it, and they did. Or they're trying to, at least in New York. I think they passed legislation to regulate it already.
Wow. What's sad to me is any currency that's been around for a while, like Bitcoin, now there's literally hundreds of cryptocurrencies, if not thousands. The problem is, as the difficulty rate goes up, you can't use common hardware to mine the coins anymore. It's not worth it. So now you have these huge server farms making all the money.
Right, which is what I predicted. What happens if this guy in the middle of nowhere sets up 100 computers or 1,000 computers in some data center to mine all this stuff? The difficulty level would go up, no?
Right, yeah. And it has.
And it has for those people too, but they're the only ones making the money. So it almost is like a pyramid scheme a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's going to... Only the rich can be richer, right?
The people that issued the currency to begin with, they're the ones that made out the most, because who invented it, they probably gave themselves, quite a few bitcoins before they released the source.
That's not the way it works, but...
Well, whatever. They're probably rich from creating it.
Right.
Somewhere or the other.
The new trend is people actually making, they're called ASICs, they're application-specific circuits, a specific design circuit to go mine and one or two different types of cryptocurrencies. So you buy this device that can mine coins so much faster than, say, 8 video cards, and so much cheaper. But it's just making the difficulty higher. But anyway, what does that have to do with a hole in the middle of Siberia? Maybe there's bitcoins down there.
No. We were talking about, well, if there's sophisticated technology down there, it could be used theoretically to mine bitcoins, but I don't think the government of Russia would be too interested in that. They're looking for alien technology to rise again as a superpower. What's wrong with my camera? Holy cow.
Maybe try picking it up and literally pointing it at the wall and then bring it back. I don't know. Did not refocus at all.
Not at all.
Well, maybe we should just end this discussion.
What? There's more to be known about these aliens, Joe.
Is there?
We don't know what this thing is. Is there any... We'll check one last time. Is there any new news about this?
You're in focus now.
And because my screen is white. Maybe it's because I turned off all the lights.
It could be.
I opened my browser window, and now that's probably why. I probably can't focus in the dark. Okay, so... Try one more time and see if anything's come through.
I don't think anything has yet.
Let's see, when you go to Google, your country of origin is the edition. There's no way to go to the world edition? I'll go to the Russian edition.
How about Google? Instead of google.com, google.ru. Yeah, that seems to work.
I'm just going to the Russian news site. Let's see. All right, let's see if we can... For Google, what is this thing? Whole... Right, Siberia. 6 minutes? Is that minutes or? Researchers being dispatched to the hole to investigate. This was how many minutes ago? That was yesterday. We may never hear of this again. Seriously, this stuff, it appears in the news once, and then you never hear about it again.
Did you hear about the virus they found? I don't know if it was related. It was related to Siberia, not necessarily sinkholes or whatever the holes are, but apparently at one point, I'd have to look it up, but they found a virus that survived like 30,000 years buried in the Siberian permafrost. That's kind of scary.
Are you saying that there is a virus buried in the permafrost that they have isolated?
There was. This was back in... God, I'd have to look it up here. I'm going to say February. No, here it is. March. It's still infectious after a millennia in the permafrost.
Is it related to any known virus today?
No, apparently it was kind of simple, and it only affected simple life forms, so it wasn't something that targeted like mammals even. But that's just interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. Did you hear about the anthrax problem at the CDC?
Yes, I did. And also the smallpox that was found. Forget what lab. It was stashed in the back in some vials. They didn't even know they had it. And
right, if that got out, forget it. I mean, there's still a lot of people that, I thought they eradicated that. What are they doing with it?
I think the CDC is scrambling right now to go to all these different labs that handle these different, high-profile viruses to make sure, because...
Right, I mean, they have this stuff weaponized, too. I mean, as far as I know, before the chemical weapons ban, they started weaponizing it. And they probably still have the cultures for that, which is even more dangerous. I don't know, man. I mean, if you look up, the history of biological warfare, it's possible during the French and Indian War, the use of smallpox never had official sanction on June 24th, 1763. I mean, it's crazy, crazy stuff, man.
It's surprising to me that humanity just hasn't wiped itself away yet.
Well, that's the theory for why we haven't been visited by extraterrestrials, Joe.
Yeah.
According to, what's this guy's name? He worked at CUNY, college I went to. He's a Japanese scientist or something, physicist.
Who was
anyway.
it? Is it Japanese? Wasn't Michio Kaku, was it?
Yes.
He's my favorite.
He's awesome.
He is awesome.
He stays for like a level 1 civilization or something, and there is a theory that level 2 they get to colonize other planets.
I think level 2 is terraforming, so we learn how to make our world how we want it to be. Level 3 would be colonizing other planets.
Right, and then he's got like some whole theory for intergalactic civilization or something, or interstellar civilization. But he states there may be no civilization up to that level because they all destroy themselves before level 1. You know what I mean? Like, that's actually a real theory.
Yeah, and it makes sense when you think about it.
Right, because we learn how to split the atom, the chances of one nutcase destroying the entire planet just becomes larger and larger over time.
Right. Yeah, he is my favorite.
Even accidentally, some crazy experiment, destroy the entire Earth, create a singularity or something.
Right.
That's awesome, though. He has some good videos. I'd love to hear what he thinks about this. Let's see, he's a physicist. I don't know what he would make of this hole in the Earth.
He would come at it scientifically first. I mean, no question about it.
Right. He would say there's not enough data at this time. Is probably what he would say. But if we actually get reliable data out of there, considering it's in Russia, that we're having sort of a cold spell with Russia right now as far as relations and stuff, I don't know that we'll find out what's going on over there.
Right.
It's not for a while.
I'm looking for a video that he did. It's unrelated. I suppose it's related to what we're talking about. I'm going to mute myself for a second and see if this is it.
Go ahead. Hmm. I'd like to thank our
It's 13 minutes long.
13 minutes.
Watch it.
Who cares? We've been on the thing for what, like 2 hours? Put it on.
Okay, for any viewer that's never heard of him, this is just a slice of his mindset here, and I love this video. It is one of my favorites of him. Let's hope the volume's okay here. Now, he doesn't normally get very political like that. That's just...
Yeah.
He's usually very scientific. It's just that's one of the reasons I like this video, though.
Right. He finally, went political on that one.
Yeah.
And he made a good point about it. Could this be the use of the HARP superweapon, the High Frequency Active Oral Research Program?
I thought that HARP was discontinued.
It was in 2014 officially, but we don't know for sure.
I thought they even started to
dismantle it.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
of course, my theory behind that might be that we have something better, so let's get rid of the old technology, right?
Right. They may have finally launched an orbital weapon into space. Said, forget this. We don't need to use this thing. We'll just create earthquakes from space and stuff. Who knows what they're launching into space at this point? There's tens of thousands of satellites up there now.
Right.
So all sorts of space debris and some dead monkey flying around frozen for 100 years. We don't know what's going on down there, up there, whatever. I mean, literally, no one's going to know. I'm going back to the whole theory. I just want to know what is down there. They need to send. How come they haven't? You know what? If this happened in the United States, if the media all over the place, you'd have people climbing down there to find out what's going on. Why is it taking them so long? Why is there a silence about it? Joe?
I don't know. I think we'll have answers soon, though. You won't like them.
No, you know what? If the answers make sense, and that's one thing, but I have a feeling that they're not going to. I think they're going to have more questions than answers on this one, Joe. Well, once we find out the depth of that thing, then we'll have some more understanding of what happened there. But yes, what is his name again?
Dr. Chris Fogwell?
No. The guy that did the speech just now.
Michio Kaku?
Yeah, he is great. He actually is. If you watch some of his videos on physics and space-time.
Funny story about, I want to say about 5-6 months ago, he was doing a Q&A on Facebook, right?
Right.
My question to him was, because I watch Big Bang Theory, and, Hawking's been on there, and, we were trying to start a movement to get him on the Big Bang Theory, and he actually liked one of my posts, and they started an official thing. I wonder if he's going to be on the show.
Wow.
Yeah?
It'll all be because of you without anyone knowing.
Oh, I think there was a lot of other people with the same idea, but
yours got through.
Right.
Right.
That would be cool.
Well, I don't know how much we can talk about this thing. The news has gone silent on it, as I expected. We'll never hear about it again, dude. That's just the truth. We might hear something about it tomorrow night, but I doubt it.
We will find out.
We need Google. Google should be updating that area right now. I don't know,
That would be cool to get real-time satellite feed.
The thing is, I believe the governments of the world already have that. The technology that Google is using is ancient.
Right. I'm sure they do.
There's no question. There's no question about it. They have to, So they should be able to determine what happened here, instantly. But they can't reveal that they have the technology of this monitoring. And if maybe they do have it, but to a limited capacity where they're only targeting cities. I mean, I don't know. Why would they have develop all these resources to look at Siberia all day? Right. So I don't know. No one knows really how sophisticated that technology is. But well, we'll never know, and we have no one else to talk to about it.
Maybe we'll talk again tomorrow or the next day when we get some
solid information.
Some info back, yes.
And hopefully with the forums we'll have a real discussion I don't know. I think we should use the Hangouts platform for all of our future discussions if it works, if it turns out well.
Seemed to work pretty well. Maybe we can do some stuff actually related to Windows and different technologies and stuff. So.
Right, right. I mean, we haven't done that.
This is kind of our first official test here on Hangouts to.
Yeah, to talk about a giant 150-foot in diameter, apparently.
Completely off subject.
Just nothing to do with computers whatsoever, except there may be a large alien craft down there that might have a computer components in it. Theoretically, possibly, very unlikely, but still possible. I'm keeping all the options open. You're the skeptic, Joe.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Well, too bad Alex Schumann, Mr. Rubin, couldn't come on today for this adventure, or tonight, whatever. He's too busy ingratiating himself, saying, I destroy. This is interesting. This man, I haven't talked to him.
I don't even want to get in the middle of this.
I haven't talked to him in 10 years, and he says, I am the reason. What did he say? I am the reason his family has malware on his computers?
I have no idea. I have respect for him and you, so...
I've lost our respect at this point, because I heard he lost our respect for me.
Right, right.
He's not a nice man. Watch your back. Watch your back with him. And if I'm right about this, the universe is going to get a whole lot bigger. And Ruben's going
Maybe it'll go down the hole.
Yeah, somebody's got to go down there. I'm not going to be the one. And whoever does, we're never going to find out who that person is. Unless they open it up to excavation or something or whatever. It looks to me like they're sending a bunch of Russian scientists over there, keeping it internal, containable, and that's what it looks like to me. But we need more information, as you said. But yes, everybody, I guess we should go.
Yeah.
Good night. We talked about a giant hole in the ground for 3 hours.
It was a good test platform, though.
Yeah, and I wish that some weird lurkers on the internet would have came in, like seeing that this was going on and joined us, but it never. I mean, I guess you have to announce this kind of thing a couple weeks in advance or something.
Well, you can browse them all on Google Hangouts. I just don't think that many people go to look for live Google Hangouts.
I guess not, because no one knows how to really do it. I mean,
that could be.
We had to figure it out, and it's like it's some tiny little button on their Google Live Hangouts specific web page to do it. You can't just do it from, for example, Google Plus or something like that.
Right. Skype needs a similar platform, a community platform where you can go in and join people with similar discussions. It really does.
Right, right. So we'll see what happens with this platform, but I like this platform better. But, yep. All right, thank you.
All right. Have a good one, Mike.
Take care, Joseph. Good luck with these alien creatures. I would do it with my other... Oh, wait, I can. It's still broken. My right hand's broken, but I can do it. Live long and prosper, Joseph.
Here, Mike.
Bye.